The road stretches on, a gray ribbon cutting through the heart of a landscape caught in a deep, quiet breath. You see it from above, in wide, sweeping shots that reveal more absence than presence. The streets are clean, the houses stand neat, but the driveways are empty. A school playground sits motionless, its swings hanging like still pendulums. This is not one town forgotten by time. It is many towns, spread across entire states, where the hum of daily life is fading into a whisper. A palpable tension hangs in the air, the kind that comes not from conflict, but from a slow, steady unbecoming. People are leaving, not in a sudden flood, but in a quiet, persistent stream, leaving behind a silence that asks a profound question. This silence was not born overnight. It is the cumulative effect of 1,000 small departures, each one a story in itself. Picture a main street at dusk. The warm glow from a diner window is gone, replaced by the cold reflection of a vacant storefront. The factory on the edge of town, once a behemoth of steel and sound, now stands as a skeletal monument to a different era. Its vast parking lot, once filled with the cars of 3 shifts, is now a canvas for weeds pushing through cracks in the asphalt. Before the quiet came the noise. The clang of machinery from the local plant was the town's heartbeat, a rhythmic assurance of prosperity and purpose. Generations worked under the same roof, their lives intertwined with the fortunes of a single industry. On Fridays, paychecks turned into groceries, new tires, tickets to the high school football game. The town square was a bustling hub. News exchanged over coffee. Children chased pigeons. A Civil War statue watched over the square. These memories are not faded photographs. They are vivid, living narratives for the people who still walk these streets. A stark contrast to the present-day stillness. The decline was a slow erosion, not a sudden collapse. It began with whispers of downsizing. Then the first round of layoffs felt like a tremor through the community. A machine could now do the work of 10 people. A contract was lost to an overseas competitor. Small, seemingly isolated events began to connect, forming a chain reaction of economic hardship. The local hardware store, once a pillar of the community, saw its customer base shrink. The family-owned restaurant that had hosted countless birthday parties and post-funeral gatherings struggled to fill its tables. Each closure was another light going out on Main Street, dimming the collective spirit of the town. This contrast between the vibrant past and the quiet present is the central tension. The natural beauty of these states remains breathtaking. Rolling hills burn with color in the autumn. Vast, open skies offer a sense of freedom that is hard to find in a crowded city. But this beauty is now the backdrop for decline. A weathered barn, picturesque against a sunset, is also a symbol of a family farm that is no longer viable. We found Maria packing the last of her grandmother's china into a cardboard box. Her family had been in this Illinois town for 4 generations. Leaving feels like a betrayal. Her face a mixture of sorrow and resolve. My son. He's brilliant with computers. The best offer was 1,000 miles away in Austin. What am I supposed to do? Tell him to stay and work minimum wage at the dollar store? We built a life here, but the future isn't being built here anymore. I'm going to be near my grandkids. I have to go where the family is going. The family is going where the opportunities are. David. Nearly empty coffee shop in upstate New York. He held a degree in graphic design but was driving for a rideshare to make ends meet. I left for college in Boston and swore I'd never come back. Then my dad got sick. The city felt anonymous. I missed the quiet. I missed knowing the person who grows my food. I came back, and it's hard. The internet is slow. The dating pool is a puddle. My friends think I'm crazy. But I feel like I matter here. I'm not just another face in the crowd. On the other side of the country, Sarah on her porch swing. Small West Virginia town. A U-Haul pulls away, the 3rd family this year. They're good people, she says. They left for the schools in North Carolina. Can't blame them, our district had to consolidate. When I started teaching, I had 30 kids. Last year, the 1st grade had 12. She looks at her hands, weathered, strong. The list of states experiencing this quiet exodus is a familiar one, stretching across the country's heartland and its industrial northeast. Illinois, West Virginia, New York, Pennsylvania, Michigan. They are joined by others in the region, forming a contiguous belt of demographic decline. This is not a story of one region, but a pattern that reveals a fundamental restructuring of the American economy and way of life. The forces driving people away are complex: economic shifts, cultural changes, the simple human desire for a better climate. In the Rust Belt, the narrative is deeply tied to the decline of manufacturing, automation of factories, offshoring of jobs. Entire communities were built around a single plant or industry, and when that pillar crumbled, the entire structure became unstable. Replacement jobs often paid less and offered fewer benefits. Young people, seeing limited pathways to prosperity, began to look elsewhere, primarily to booming cities of the South and the West. In more rural states, the story is one of agricultural consolidation and the fading allure of small-town life. Family farms swallowed by large agricultural corporations, cultural and social opportunities concentrated in urban areas, diverse communities, vibrant art scenes, wider range of social interactions. Young adults are drawn to cities, leaving behind an aging population and a shrinking tax base.